Туда не надо залазить. Идем сюда. Оп. О. Так, какие у меня тут задания были? Так. Таинственная аура. Посмотрим.
That technology will get you into trouble here.
Хорику. Там внизу посмотрите. Сейчас про таинственную ауру сломаем. Так, выше. Все выше и выше и выше. Опаньки. Запрещено. А так охота. Ну да ладно, пройдем мимо. О. Вот он. Ну, я вот эти собирал. Металлический салон.
These fucking mutants! They're so desperate for Elex, they even try eating the mana from the seedlings. All that work, ruined by damn rotboars.
В саженцах есть мана.
There's mana in the seedlings.
Of course, we feed them with it. But mana is made from Elex, right? The mutants can feel that. They think if they eat the plants, they'll get the Elex. But they get mana instead. At least that makes them weaker. Then they're easier to kill off. But only after they've done the damage. That doesn't help me keep the seedlings alive, though. And that's my task. I look after all the seedlings here. Wait a moment. You look familiar to me. Yeah, I've seen you somewhere before.
You must be mistaken. We've not met.
I didn't say we'd met, just that I recognized you, but... No, you couldn't be him. I mean, what would an Alb commander be doing here in Goliath? I mean, what, you just decided to stop conquering Magalan and hang out here with me instead? That'd be crazy. But, you know, you do look really like him. You should be careful. If someone else recognizes you, thinks they recognize you, then you'd never get back to the Ice Palace.
Так значит, твоя работа защищать растения от мутантов, тебе это нравится?
So, your job is to protect these plants from mutants.
Happy? I've got the most important job in Goliath. Hey, maybe even on Magalan. Protecting the seedlings, that's the law. World hearts are to be protected from everyone and everything. Not that these little baby seedlings are world hearts yet. But now Boren's had the mana delivery from Caldrum, we can start cultivating them again, and then, who knows? World hearts, proper world hearts, are rare. But maybe, just maybe, one of these little things will make it to maturity.
Тебе не нравится работать на Калдериме?
Are you happy working for Cauldron?
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, it's not always so easy. Caldrum is pretty strict about how the plants are grown and what you do with them, and, well, how are we gonna learn like that? You think the first cultivators just stood and watched things grow? The first mages just waited for magic? No, they tried things. They experimented.
Is there a way to stop the mutants from eating the plants?
Yeah, I mean, if we can't grow many world hearts, maybe we should try growing them differently. Maybe we could breed them so that the mutants wouldn't eat them. But we're not allowed to try, which is crazy. I mean, imagine what we could do. And not just to seedlings. If mana does that to a plant, imagine what it could do to a person. If we don't try, we won't progress.
Так.
What do you think of Bourne?
He's a good boss. I enjoy working with him. He cuts me some slack, gives me some time of my own. That gives me a chance to, well, do some experiments sometimes. Just try a few things to see if I can help the seedlings.
And is everything all right out here? There's nothing getting you down?
Just the usual. The mutants, the low success rate in growing world hearts, the occasional bit of grief from the boss, but nothing too bad. You know, nothing worth talking about.
Почему сердца мира получаются редко?
Why are world hearts so rare?
I don't know. I mean, berserkers have been studying them since before I was born. I think they found one out in the wild. I heard they were going to destroy it because it was, you know, a mutant plant. Then they realized this thing was making everything else grow. They've been learning how to cultivate more world hearts since then, but it's hard. Even since they learned to feed them with mana.
Открыться или не открыться, вот в чем вопрос. Ладно. Какой-то странный он очень. Типок.
It sounds like you really care about your job.
You know, yes, I do. I want to see the seedlings live. I want to see more world hearts. I just wish that the others could see how I could help them achieve that.
How do you think you can improve the seedling crop?
And that's just the seedlings. There've not been many experiments on people since some narrow-minded warlord banned them. I think we should at least talk about trying that again. If feeding mana to plants in these doses can make world hearts, what would happen if we got the dose right with people? Any experiment, it's going to take someone to show the way, to blaze the trail, to be the first.
Нужна отвага.
It takes courage to be the first.
Well, I was thinking about mana and seedlings and us, right? The Elex, the normal Elex that the Albs are after, that makes them stronger. That's why they're so scary. So I thought, what if we did that with mana? I mean, it's been purified by the plants, so it should be all right, yeah? And if it makes us stronger, like the Albs, then we'd stand more of a chance. We could take them on. So I extracted the juice from a seedling and I drank it. And I felt like I understood everything. Everything.
Don't your laws forbid that?
Yeah, I suppose, but don't you see? If we can get this to work, if we can do this, then we'd all be stronger. You can see that, can't you? I've got to wait to try again, but I'm telling you, one more dose, maybe two, and I'll become something else. Something that can fight the Albs.
One more dose?
One more mature seedling, and I could solve this question. I know it. I can show everyone the way. We can win this war. All this can be over. You believe me, right? So, let's keep this between ourselves. You will get more juice. I promise. I should go now. I have to make this work.
Интересно.
These seedlings, they're our true hope. Why are you messing with that here?
Так, чё там? Ну, как бы вроде есть. Рагнар Лотбракс. Все-таки улучшение не одно, бабок мало. Блин, я надо стойкость поднимать, блин. Здрасте. а протокол я нахуй. Херачу.
About my support. I took care of your door.
Are there any problems?
None to speak of.
You have proved yourself a friend to the Berserkers with this act. The work Yerdor does is at the heart, the world heart, of everything we stand for. It's criminal that we hadn't helped him before. Thank you.
200 осколков дали, как мои дела?
How am I doing?
You have passed Angram's test. That stands you in good stead. You helped protect the seedlings from mutants. Born was grateful for the help you gave him with the harvest. He has spoken up for you. As I heard it, you uncovered an outlaw trading in forbidden technology. Ornir told me that you failed to help him deal with an outlaw he was worried about. My wife seems to hold you in great favor. I've heard you helped the cleric escape from Goliath. And worse still, you involved my wife in this deception. How does that speak to your case? You helped Yerdor. Something we neglected to do. The men at the Mana Shrine informed me the stolen Elex was returned. And that was your doing. All told, I am pleased with you. You have done a lot to help the people here. You have earned a just reward.
That's a lot of shards.
Then you can assure your friend that he is valued. You have proved a friend to the Berserkers. I think you should consider joining us. Think about it. Maybe someday, when you're ready, we will teach you about our magic. First, though, I'm expecting you to bring me a report from one of the other cities. And with your abilities, that shouldn't be difficult for you.
Как берсерки относятся к другим?
What contact do the Berserkers have with the other factions?
The Albs want no contact but that of war and conflict. Perhaps the Separatists will be more open to conversation, but trust will be hard. We have maintained conversations with the clerics, but the peace that has strained since our last war has never held easy. The outlaws, well, they have no true leader and no true cause. Any dealings with them are dealings with individuals. It's self-evident that the paths of all the factions will cross, and that conflict is likely.
Why are the factions fighting?
Ah, that's a question we all ask. How could healing the planet not aid us all? But for the Albs, Elex comes before anything. The clerics worship their god and their machines, and do not trust nature. While the outlaws see only profit and pleasure today, with no interest in tomorrow. And so we come into conflict, and the world burns when it could heal. If we can plant more world hearts in Tavar or Abessa, then we could give all the soil there new life too. But the other factions don't see it that way. They fear the changes we bring.
Do you know that for sure? Have you spoken to the other factions?
Spoken, no. But we sent men to establish world hearts in Abessa and Tavar. And they have been attacked almost constantly. In fact, their reports are overdue. You came to us from beyond our walls. If you know your way across these lands, could you go to the world hearts and see what happened to our men?
Так, я поищу.
I will look for your men in Tavar and Abessa.
Thank you. It's time that we learn their fates. You ensure you're properly equipped before you go. It isn't a short journey, and the way will be difficult.
Where are the World Hearts?
The World Heart in Tavar was sent to an oasis out in the desert. You will have to walk carefully once you're there. The outlaws do not take kindly to people crossing through their lands. You'll find the World Heart in Abessa to the south of the domed city.
I have news from the other regions.
Oh? What is it?
Не, потому что пока новостей у меня никаких нету.
You shouldn't rely on machines.
Так, стойкость мне надо повысить. До 30-очки. Интеллект и хитрость, по идее, тоже надо повышать. Дали, что ли? Прям так. Смотри.
You shouldn't rely on machines.
Сейчас телепортируемся по основному заданию, попробуем. Хотя надо было. Ну ладно, очко увидим, пока ставим. Застава бандитов. Мы ее сейчас обойдем.
place doesn't feel too friendly.
Что у нас тут будет сейчас? Так, а я что-то не помню сейчас, секунду. Настройки, клавиатура и мышь. Быстрое сохранение F5, если что. Все вот так вот.
All right.
Да, в спину не бей. Так, это испытание выдержали. Так сказать. Эй, выйди. О, надо активировать.
And here, the Berserkers defeated the Alms and wrecked their converter. Question is, why did we let him build it here in the first place?
Вот они стоят, Альба. Че, пойдем попробуем. Сразу. Какой сильный. F9. Да, сильные у них топорики. Ну ладно, сейчас попробую еще раз.
And here, the Berserkers defeated the Alms and wrecked their converter. Question is, why did we let him build it here in the first place? I'll take care of them.
Да, ё-моё, да, ёпта, удар. он быстро.
I'll take care of that.
Вот ты охерел, что ли? Да ё-моё, я же... Да ты охерел, блядь. Эй, ты пьешь, нет? Эй, ты чё? Игра крашнулась. Ай, блински, жесть какая. Привет, Димлис. Игра крашнулась. Как оно? Хочу их вырубить сейчас, еще раз попробую. Еще раз. Да бля, кому? Я ж тут. Да уйди ты.
recognized.
Ну ты даешь. Кой-как с трудом отбился. А у тебя где топорик-то был? Не забрал.
This could be dangerous.
Да ты что? Сейчас надо сюда вот зайти. Вижу опасность. Вот сохранимся, посмотрим. Что тут? Активная тачка. Да, понял. Этого лучше не трогай. У меня еще кишка тонка, чтоб на таких нападать. Сейчас мы отсюда смоем. Сейчас посмотрим здесь. Что такое энергетик? Возьмем, пригодится нам. Немножко учимся. Так, ладно. Что? Это охранники, что такие? Да.
You'll pay. For that asshole. You'll pay for that asshole.
Out of ammo.
Стрел тут надо до хера.
You'll pay for that asshole.
Спасибо за донат.
На лимонад тебе.
Спасибо, Димлис, за поддержку канала.
На лимонад тебе.
Вот почему 2 раза проигрывается, я что-то никак не разберусь с этим. Ну да ладно. Это то есть тебе двойной Лукас за это. Спасибо. Так, что я еще хотел? Я хотел вовнутрь зайти. Стрел надо дохерища просто. Все, убирай топор. Надо будет потом в Donation Alerts разобраться, почему он 2 раза делаем. Вроде как бы не должен.
This one.
Не, было просто. Давно уже мне никто не донатил. Так. Теперь я хотел. Зайти вовнутрь. Нет. Это тут мне не нравится, похоже на мину. Сохранимся, посмотрим, что получится. Опаньки. Ай! Провалился. Уборщик вроде бы как. Значит, не должен вреда причинить. Ну давай на все. Да. Кольцо твердости. Максимальное здоровье, максимальная выносливость. Электрические ножи. Ну-ка, посмотрим, что. Во. Мы наденем. Херакс выросла. Похаваем мне маленько. Что, только на лифте получается сейчас? Еще выше, да? Деталь механизма, что-то эликсит валяется, это нам пригодится все. Что, поехали выше, дура? Карабкаться, думаю, надо искать надо. Две шести. Так. Мясо маловато мяса.
Congratulations! Waiting for the enemy to commit their troops before you revealed the fighting Colossi. It left the enemy nowhere to go. You've shattered their attack.
It was a logical move, and we must remain vigilant. They won't fall for that again.
Nevertheless, the victory is yours. The hybrid must recognize that even the Alexiters speak of you as an equal.
I carry out the will of the hybrid. I am what the hybrid makes of me.
The Alexiters select you for roles they could only give if the hybrid had agreed. Elex does not allow for emotion, but you should be careful, Commander Jax. There are those who envy your rise in power. They would do anything to have the favor you've won. You honor our people, but there are those who think of themselves.
I serve the hybrid. His will is above all.
Воспоминания.
Someone at the Ice Palace.
Hey,
I'll help you.
Faulty raider, a targeted shot. Alex arriving so fast. The question is, who planned for me to fail? Who planned for me to die?
так, я сюда или? Ну, сейчас увижу. Последний кусок мяса ушел. Надо покопаться в инвентаре. Что-то должно быть у меня вкусненького. Так, энергетик, здоровье плюс 12. Делаем винишко. Домыть. Надо что-нибудь сырое мясо. Он тоже мало восстанавливает. Ставим. пока сделают так. Ну, поломать мясо скалы. Здесь пока тишина. Давай смотрим, что. Хлебные зрения нам очень нужны. Сюда мы пока пройти не можем. Стоит выше подняться. Типа код, я не знаю. Сейчас выше поднимемся. Посмотрим, что там.
Look out!
Здесь у нас что? О, чуть не пропустил. Золото, 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 золото. Так, 36. Все, что ли? Ух ты. А вот это. Блин, я думал тут. Не пойми. Я что-то пропустил, что типа телепортатора какого-то, хер пойми. А, во, наверное, здесь сейчас. Фальк. Ну, давай сейчас ставить подречь. Сейчас я выше поднимусь, посмотрю, а потом я ставлю потрещу. Закрыто все, что ли? Эй.
Good day. Just think, if these mutants keep chasing people up here, we'll soon be able to start our own small town.
What are you doing up here?
Waiting. At some point, those mutants down there will find an easier meal. Then they'll leave, and I can continue my journey.
The mutants down there were too much for you?
There was a whole horde of them when I arrived. Maybe there aren't as many now, but there are still enough to kill me, so I'll wait a little longer for them to lose interest.
So, you're just going to wait up here?
I'm very patient.
How long have you been here?
Only a week or so. But if their numbers keep diminishing at the rate they are, I should be able to continue on my way in another week or so.
What happens if you run out of supplies up here?
I've been fine so far, but you look better equipped than me. Could you take care of those mutants? Then supplies wouldn't be a problem for either of us.
The mutants are dead.
Ah, good. Thank you. Then I can be on my way.
On your way where?
To the search for greater knowledge, and a number of technical items that I'm tasked to find by the clerics.
Before you go, you need to pay me.
Pay? How much?
How much Elexit have you got?
Only this, but I don't suppose I'm really in a position to argue about paying, am I? Well, thank you again. I will continue on with my task.
Why did you come here to the converter?
Why does anyone come here? I came here for the ALB technology.
You want to build a converter?
Oh no, the precise opposite in fact. I need components to help stop the ALBs. My observations, and those of others, show that the ALBs' power comes from their technology. That and an ability to increase their stamina, pain resistance, strength, emotional resistance, etc. that comes from abusing their bodies with vast amounts of Elex. It is obvious I cannot defeat them. But you obviously have the skills I am lacking. So why don't we work together? We could both benefit from our different skill sets. I could be useful to you when it comes to technical questions. In return, you can help me avoid situations like this in the future. What do you think? Can we team up?
Tell me about the clerics.
We are the technologically superior of all the cultural and sociological subgroupings on Magellan, apart from the Albs. We believe in Kal Urn, who we serve in the hope of knowledge and freedom.
Who is Kalan?
Kal Urn is our god. He is... Well, we have little in the way of real data, but the teachings tell us much.
Teachings?
Yes, he teaches us about the importance of knowledge. But then knowledge always depends on context to have meaning. For instance, let me ask you, have you ever killed anyone?
Конечно.
Yes.
And that is morally wrong. I should be sad or angry. I should not wish to talk to you. And yet, I don't know why you killed that person. And I know most people out here have to kill to survive. Thinking is easy. Finding reliable data is the difficult part. Questions should come before decisions.
You're right. Too many people don't think.
Then I have found my role.
Ну, это Дурс тогда уйдет, по-моему, да?
You really messed up there.
Ну-ка, а это задание-то у меня было.
Стрим по героям когда? Да чтоб твой тапор был острее. Стрим по героям когда? Да чтоб твой тапор был острее. Удачи во всем.
Спасибо, Земли. Стрим по героям, возможно. Уху-ху. Сегодня, возможно, будет, но не точно. Сейчас есть сколько времени у нас? Сейчас до 5 здесь. Возможно, где-нибудь в 6 до 8 сделаю. С 6 до 8, вот так, возможно, сделаю по героям. Сейчас примерно до 4:30 до 5 постримлю эту игрушку. Потом по героям сделаю часиков 6. Так. Вот это я хотел посмотреть. Давай спускаться. Спасибо тебе еще раз, Деньги, за поддержку. Здесь я вот ничего не пропустил. Да. А если сделать взлом? Уметь комбинацию, используя уравнение некоторых цифр. Некоторые цифры больше, некоторые меньше. Зеленые цифры подобраны правильно, желтые не на своем месте. Красные вообще отсутствует комбинация. Желтым лицом. Воровым. Ну, жмись. Так, 4,8. Получается только 1,3 поменять местами. Все. Слушай, так нормально сделано. Высокочувствительный сенсорный модуль.
No, I'm not good enough for that.
Да, это плохо. Умение взламывать третьего умения у меня нету. А жаль. Ай, блин. Модуль нашел, а нет, не нашел. Ладно. Вот, пропустил. Нам все пригодится, нам все надо.
We better be on our guard here.
Да, я понял. Так, что? Это куда ведет? Нет, просто. Нам туда не надо, там. Опасно. Слишком. Так, а эти по созданию ко мне недалеко, да? Мечта. Ну вот Карин. Корин. Карин, корин, корин, карин. Тирин, тирин. Это лагерь, что ли? Ну, чувак вроде тусует. Слушай, да я поспим до утра, чтобы ночью не бродить. Слушай, я спал. О.
There's nothing here for you but misery. Be on your way.
What's wrong with you?
Why ever you came, take my advice and leave. Forget this cursed place.
Who are you?
No one and nothing. I'm now the guardian of this place, and you should go before my story becomes yours. I carry the curse that has tainted this place, and you will be cursed if you stay here too.
I am looking for converter parts.
Then you were sent after me?
No. Jorah didn't mention you.
He didn't. But that it has been a long time. He must have thought me dead.
Then you haven't found the converter parts?
I tried. But every time I went into the converter, more mutants came. He probably thinks the converter is empty because the Albs abandoned it. He doesn't know that the Albs left their mutants here to tear the flesh from any who came after them.
You could tell Jorah about the mutants.
With everything that's happened, now I fail another task he's given me. I'll be exiled to the Valley of the Damned in no time. I might as well stay here and keep the mutants away from others.
Did you find any converter parts here?
Oh yes. The Albs left the converter in full working order. They didn't expect such a fierce attack from the Berserkers, or I suppose they would have rigged the place to self-destruct. But then the Berserkers didn't expect mutants to move in here so quickly. Now this place belongs to neither Alb nor Berserker. It's the home of the mutants. And me. Unless I can find the rest of the converter parts. If I could get those converter parts, they would save me from exile.
I'll get you converter parts, if you pay me.
I've been paying every day this curse has been on me. So yeah, I'll pay you the few shards I have if you help me break it.
About these converter parts. Here, I found these in the converter.
The converter parts? You got them! That's exactly what Jorah asked me to bring him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe my curse has been broken.
Will you take the converter parts to Goliath?
I'll rest first. I won't believe this curse lifted until I see it. And I will need my energy in case those mutants come back.
Curses aren't real. You're free.
So I used to say. Superstitious raptor shit. But maybe I am free now. Travel safe, and thank you.
Все. У него были. Так, дальше что нам делать? А что нам нужно? Очки обучения даже аж 2 штуки. Ну-ка, это где? Посмотрим по карте. В принципе, можем попробовать. Получится, не получится.
Magalan is a truly amazing place.
Правила. Интересно. Ведь нам бежать путь именно туда надо. Сейчас попробуем.
The entrance to the Valley of the Damned. We'll have to be careful down there. There's a reason these people were sent into exile.
Ох ты! Все, отъехал. Эй, дурас, ты что там, обиделся, что ли? Пошли. Нам надо осмотреться. Бежишь? Я думал, ты обиделся. Что-то много тут погибших берсерков лежит, ну да. Надо... В какую сторону с тобой мы двинем? Давай глянем. Давай вот сюда. Комбо силы Q. Что, обидел? Нихера себе. Что какая-то зверушка такая достаточно опасненькая попалась.
Someone new in the Valley of the Dead. Doesn't matter why you're here. If you have the option, turn around.
Thanks for the advice.
Just a friendly warning. One wanderer to another. Be glad you found us first. Others wouldn't have given you the chance to leave. You go on. Don't expect a second chance. You better listen to what I say. Don't trust anyone. Especially not us.
This is the end for you.
Hey. Дурак, отомсти. Ну вообще без шанса. Злыдни писюнявые. А чё, я не сохранился? Мы эту тварь с тобой забили. Не сохранились.
Let's go.
Хера себе на мне. Эй, ты! Сохранись. Такое чудо-юдо захерачил. Надо еще чуть на подкрепку закидывать. Ну-ка бахнем.
Yeah. Someone new in the Valley of the Dead. Doesn't matter why you're here. If you have the option, turn around.
I can take care of myself.
Just a friendly warning. One wanderer to another. Be glad you found us first. Others wouldn't have given you the chance to leave. You go on. Don't expect a second chance. You better listen to what I say. Don't trust anyone. Especially not us. This one's mine!
I'm here.
Да, блин. Дурас ты, дурас, блин. Мне сюда бесполезно пока соваться. Не, дурас он одним словом, дурас, он, конечно. Один на один еще, тут они вдвоем и все сразу на меня. Можем попробовать их облететь, может быть. Ну-ка. Жена уже что тут нас ждет, мы сейчас попробуем. А хотя хера их тут. Хера. Ай. Не получится. Ладно. Здесь возможно позиция. Сейчас посмотрим.
Get ready. This place doesn't feel too friendly.
So, where are those Alps?
Ну, тут явно не Альба. И там тоже, я думаю, остается одна позиция. Здесь изгои, бандиты, разбойники. Такой же, наверное. На 2 побольше у нас. Продать можно будет. Дистанционный урон сотка. Вот это вот что-то интересное, конечно.
In the light of the panic that has broken out in the last few hours, the corporation will provide you with emergency transport to bring you and your family to safety. I don't like saying it, but there is a high chance that law and order will break down completely as soon as the real truth is learned. There won't be many survivors, but the corporation will make sure that you are amongst them.
Целебные зелья не пропустил. Так, кружки-то продаем. О, стальной нож. Менталайт, все для хозяйства. Снаряд. Все пригодится. Все собираем. Смещайте отмычку влево и вправо, чтобы установить шпильки замка в нужном положении.
Too easy.
Заберем. Интересная какая-то система. Непонятная. Можно как бы мясо пригодится же. А мясо что не палится? Да. Ну что, думал, с них мясо выпали. А вот этим можно воспользоваться, нет? Жаль. Кольцо вора. Так. Ну, этого можно крякнуть.
Stop. Not another step if you value your life.
I value it.
Commander Jax, they said you were dead. Executed.
They tried. They failed.
And so you live. So you're still Commander Jax, Alb servant of the hybrid? Or has a near-death experience brought you to your senses?
You'd have shot me already if you thought I was an Alb.
It looks like you're no longer taking Elex. But does that mean you've joined the fight against Zakor?
They tried to kill me. I'm owed some revenge.
So, you've swapped sides too. But just because you're free doesn't mean you're not a threat. 5 minutes with the free people teaches you that emotions don't make people less dangerous. Strange, isn't it? On this side, free from Elex and from control. And where you've gone, some of us are trying to follow. We want to be free from Elex, eventually. We want to stop the Ice Palace from making a mistake.
How did you escape from the other Albs?
We didn't set out to become separatists. We were part of a commando unit. Our mission hit problems and we were cut off from Zakor. After a while, we began to run out of supplies, including Elex. It wasn't long before we started to dream, to feel. Alexander Parsec noticed it first. He sent out patrols to locate possible sources of Elex, but it was too late. Eventually, our unit got round the enemy and returned to Zakor. But we had changed. We realized we wanted to think. We no longer wanted to be controlled by the Alb directive.
What happened?
We escaped and made it out here. We knew Parsec and the other Alexiders would see it as treason, but we had already seen too much without Elex to blind us. The Albs are bringing about their own downfall. They're slaves with Elex there to control them. Escaping and joining the Separatists was the only logical course of action. In order to save the Albs, the Alexiders must resign, and the old directive must be followed. I still believe the Albs can become more than we are. But we can't do it alone, and we can't save this planet by subjugating and killing everyone else.
What do you think of the Free People?
There must be another way to get Elex than to extract it from living people. Well, we think that the Albs will win someday. But what then? What happens when there is no more Elex? What happens when we have used all the resources? We fear that could mean the downfall of us all.
You really want to give up Elex?
Yes. We don't want to poison ourselves anymore. We still take it, but we control it. It doesn't control us.
You really think you're in control?
Would I speak out against the Alexiders if it wasn't true? We're helping each other. We're keeping our strength and our free will.
Keep taking Elex, and the Free People will see you as Albs.
The Outlaws have their chems, their berserkers, their mana. How can this be seen as different? They can accept it. They must. It is in their best interests. But how are we to persuade them if we can't get you on our side? Are we able to trust you?
Can't you give up Elex if it would help you join another faction?
It is for each Alb to decide. And for now, we have decided to take it. We have to stand by their decision. We are free people now, and won't replace one ruler with another.
I don't owe the Alexiders anything.
You doubt their motives. Death will do that to a man. To a man. If that's what we both are now.
When did you last see Elixir Calyx?
It was a long time ago. You both were on the battlefield fighting the Free People.
What have you been doing here in Edan?
Hiding from the elves, hiding from the Free People, and wondering what will become of us. And we do it with fear. For the first time, we do it with fear.
Fear of what?
Death, mortality, of the guilt that comes from remembering the things we've done. Some of us weren't born elves. They are having it easier than those who were. But with that fear comes something else. Hope. Hope that our freedom means something. But unless we can find people, free people, who will work with us, then we don't stand a chance.
I could speak to the Berserkers.
Is there a Berserker you can trust? Someone who would work with us? If there is, please, talk to them for us. You know what we can do. Persuade them that they need us on their side, that we can help. We seek an alliance, not a fight.
What would you want in return?
To be treated like the other Free People. The clerics have fought wars with the Berserkers, but they still speak to them. Some of them must understand that we deserve a chance. For that, we will work with them to stop the rule of Zakor.
If you say so.
Где ваш штаб-квартира?
Where can I find your headquarters?
I need to trust you more than I do before I'll tell you that. You have to help us first.
There. I think I found those elves. The Berserker Hakon sent me to speak to you.
Hakon? What does he have to say?
Hakon says you killed his men.
There's a truth in that. We killed Berserkers in the battle before we changed. It was a massacre, in truth. One ordered by Zakor. But we are not who we once were. We are no longer elves who blindly follow the word of the Elexitors. We have to convince him of that. We will find a way to pay reparation for what we did. And we can start by offering a hand in alliance. If Hakon will offer us a haven here, the protection of a truce, we will fight against our common enemy. But he must do it soon. Zakor is preparing to move against us. Soon, the Elexitors may kill us for him.
You're being hunted by Albs?
Parsec has sent a special forces unit to find us. They outnumber us, and they're better armed. Our old comrades are out to kill us.
I'll find the Albs who are hunting you.
There's a whole squad. At least 5 of them. Can you handle that?
Do you know where this Special Forces unit is?
Their last position was northwest of here. Since they don't know our strength, they'll follow protocol and wait there for reinforcements. And as we know, true elves follow protocol. They will still be at that position.
Сепаратистка. Порыл не хороший, лук хороший. Слушай, это надо? Спасибо, ребят. Ужасно. Ну-ка, с расчисткой леса посмотреть. Они вон где все, да? Недалеко отсюда. Сходить посмотреть, что на них смогу, не смогу, я их сейчас рубану. Пойдем. Посмотрим, дурас, что там. Зальба. Много их там, сильные ли? Сильные да смелые. Так, интересно, как вот это действие? Не, никак. Ну, берет, поэтому я не умею пользоваться. Это, наверное, гранаты надо изучать. Не готовы мы с ними драться, надо бомбы изучить. Ладно. Ясно, понятно, пока не готов. Пойду к хакону скажу.
Teach me something.
Yes.
I found the Alps.
So, they are scouting those locations. They must be planning another attack. Did you kill the scouts? Or are you here to ask for help?
I spoke with them.
To the Alps? And you're still alive? No, you're full of shit. Alps don't speak to anyone.
Интересно. Девки пляшут, 4 штуки в ряд. Как ему сказать-то?
They're Alb separatists. They don't take orders from Zakor.
Separatists? What are you talking about?
The separatists don't want to fight you. You should talk to them. They're good fighters looking for allies to bring down the Elexitors.
Allies? This stinks of a trap.
It's no trap. They want your help. They're fighting the Alps to put an end to the bloodshed, to get rid of the Elexitors.
You're serious? Albs that want to fight Albs? Well, if they want to give up the fight, then it is my job to give them a welcome. Tell me where you found them.
Ну, их убьет меня.
I'm not telling you.
You want me to trust you, but you won't trust me. You're hiding those Albs, and the only reason to do that is if you're bullshitting me. Why don't you go back to your new friends? That way we can deal with you all together. Get out of Goliath before I decide you deserve worse than exile. I'll get you, asshole!
Интересно, если скажем правду. Мне кажется, он их перебьет же. Остальные сейчас у нас.
I advise you to step carefully.
Где я уж не помню.
Be careful what you do here.
What are you saying there?
Thank you for coming to us. Your application to Infinite Skies has been denied.
No! No! We hadn't seen sunlight since the day the comet struck. Just for a moment.
I advise you to step carefully.
Those four walls. Oh, the air is so much fresher. I brought our last bottle of wine. It covered the taste. I didn't feel a thing. We wanted to die free. We couldn't do that underground. Taste the wine, Jeff. We'll both drink deep.
Be careful. What you do here.
Не. Ты чё тут, труженик, свалил на?
What are you doing?
Я немножко, ладно, это... 540. Сейчас попробую. Сейчас надо сохраниться отдельно. Да, вот это вот.
I found the Alps.
So, they are scout.
I spoke with them.
To the Alps? No, you're...
They're Alps.
Separatists?
This...
Allies?
It's...
You're... Alps? Well,
they're to the west, where you said they would be.
I'll send a few men to these separatists to see what their intentions really are. If they're lying, they will pay with their lives. But if they're telling the truth, then maybe we berserkers have found the allies we need to defeat the Alps. Here, take this as payment for your help.
Very good.
Ну, все закончилось нормально. Я думаю, он просто их захочет уничтожить. Ну, в принципе, пока я и не останавливаюсь на этом. Спасибо за просмотр, Демлис, спасибо тебе за донат. Спасибо всем, кто будет смотреть, кто смотрел. Всем пока.